Who the brave souls were that fought tooth and nail to end slavery? Well, the story begins in the late 18th century with the birth of abolitionism. This was a movement that sought to put an end to the heinous Atlantic slave trade and liberate those who had been enslaved. The abolitionists, as they came to be known, were a diverse group of individuals from different walks of life. They were united by their shared belief in the fundamental human rights of all individuals, regardless of color or origin. Their mission was not an easy one. They faced considerable opposition and even danger, but their dedication never wavered. Their tireless efforts laid the groundwork for a societal shift that would eventually lead to the abolition of slavery. As we dive into our countdown, we start with the dawn of abolitionism. Kicking off our countdown at number 10 are the Quakers. Emerging in the 17th century, the Quakers, also known as the Society of Friends, were among the first to raise their voices against the institution of slavery. Their condemnation of this inhumane practice was deeply rooted in their religious beliefs, particularly the Quaker doctrine of inner light, which professed that all individuals, regardless of race or status, possess a divine spark. This conviction made them see slavery as a gross violation of divine law. The Quakers' anti-slavery stance had a profound influence on the abolitionist movement. They formed some of the earliest abolitionist societies, providing a platform for anti-slavery discourse. Many Quakers, such as John Woolman and Anthony Benezet, became prominent abolitionists themselves, their words and actions inspiring others to join the fight against slavery. Their faith led them to fight for freedom, setting the stage for others to join the cause. At number 9, we have the early abolitionist societies. As the 18th century drew to a close, a wave of change began to sweep across the Western world. In England, the Society for the Abolition of the Slave Trade was formed in the late 1700s, marking the beginning of organized efforts to oppose the horrific institution of slavery. This society was instrumental in raising public awareness about the brutalities of the slave trade, leveraging political lobbying and public campaigns to sway public opinion. Across the pond in the United States, similar societies began to emerge, such as the Pennsylvania Abolition Society. These organizations became a beacon of hope, gathering like-minded individuals together to fight against the injustice of slavery. They organized meetings, circulated petitions, and wrote to lawmakers, tirelessly advocating for the cause of abolition. These societies played a crucial role in creating a platform for the abolitionist movement. Coming in at number 8 is the role of literature in the abolitionist movement. Can you imagine a world where words were weapons? In the fight against slavery, that's exactly what they were. Literature played an enormous role in shaping public opinion. Slave narratives, like the haunting accounts of Frederick Douglass, brought the brutal reality of slavery to the forefront of the public consciousness. These first-hand experiences, penned in ink, laid bare the inhumanity of the institution of slavery. Simultaneously, abolitionist newspapers served as a steady drumbeat of dissent against this unjust system. Papers like William Lloyd Garrison's The Liberator were unrelenting in their crusade, spreading anti-slavery sentiments far and wide. Through these mediums, the abolitionists were able to raise awareness, stir emotions, and galvanize support for their cause. In the end, the pen proved mightier than the sword. Words became a powerful tool in the fight against slavery. At number 7, we delve into the secretive world of the Underground Railroad. This cloak and dagger operation was not a physical railroad, but a network of covert routes and safe houses, a testament to the bravery and resilience of the individuals who risked everything for freedom. Enslaved African Americans seeking liberation would navigate this intricate network, guided by conductors, many of whom were former slaves themselves. The Underground Railroad was more than a means of escape. It was a complex system of cooperation and trust, a testament to the human spirit's indomitable will to be free. It spanned across multiple states, reaching as far as Canada, offering those who dared venture into its clandestine pathways a glimmering chance at liberty. The stories of the Underground Railroad are stories of heroism, of courage against all odds, and of an unyielding pursuit of freedom. The Underground Railroad was a beacon of hope, offering a pathway to freedom. Number 6 on our countdown explores the powerful voices of abolitionist speakers. These individuals used the potency of their words to fight against the injustice of slavery. Among them were figures like Frederick Douglass and Sojourner Truth, who harnessed their personal experiences as former slaves to argue against the institution. Douglass, with his incisive intellect and eloquence, became a prominent speaker, using his gripping narratives to expose the harsh realities of slavery. Meanwhile, Sojourner Truth, despite never learning to read or write, became an influential speaker, her words resonating with raw emotion and undeniable truth. They stood at podiums in churches and on the streets, their voices echoing with the call for freedom. Their compelling speeches stirred hearts and minds, provoking empathy, sparking debates, and challenging the status quo. Each word they spoke, each story they told, added momentum to the burgeoning abolitionist movement. Their compelling speeches stirred hearts and minds, fueling the abolitionist movement. Coming in at number 5, we have the women who fought against slavery. Women played a critical role in the abolitionist movement, despite societal norms that often relegated them to the background. Yet their voices were powerful, their actions steadfast. Among these brave women were figures like Harriet Tubman, who, after escaping slavery, made numerous trips back to the South to guide other slaves to freedom via the Underground Railroad. She was a beacon of hope in a time of despair. Then we have Harriet Beecher Stowe, whose novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin, echoed the harsh realities of slavery to an international audience. Stowe's words were so influential that they shifted public opinion and played a significant role in sparking the Civil War. Women abolitionists were not just participants. They were leaders, strategists, and fearless advocates for change. They risked their lives, their reputations, and their comfort in the name of justice. These women risked everything in their fight for freedom. At number 4, we explore the abolitionist impact on politics. The abolitionist movement did far more than just rally public opinion. It penetrated the realm of governance, leading to seismic shifts in the political landscape. The fervor and commitment of abolitionists were instrumental in shaping political strategies and forming new parties dedicated to the anti-slavery cause. One such party was the Liberty Party, established in the early 1840s, which emerged as a political platform for abolitionist sentiments. Later, the formation of the Republican Party in the 1850s also signified the political manifestation of abolitionist ideals. These parties and their anti-slavery platforms exerted significant pressure on the existing political structure, contributing to the tension between the North and South. This tension eventually boiled over into the Civil War, a conflict fundamentally rooted in the issue of slavery. The abolitionists, therefore, did not just alter public opinion, but transformed the political landscape and the course of American history. The fight for freedom reached the corridors of power, forever changing the nation. Number 3 on our list brings us to a landmark moment, the Emancipation Proclamation. A pivotal chapter in the annals of American history, it was issued by President Abraham Lincoln on the first day of January, 1863. This proclamation declared that all slaves within the Confederacy, those states actively rebelling against the Union, were to be set free. This was no small decree, but a radical reshaping of societal norms. Lincoln's decision was not merely a strategic move in the Civil War, but also a moral stance, a clear declaration that the institution of slavery was fundamentally wrong. The Emancipation Proclamation didn't immediately free all slaves, rather it changed the character of the war and the future of the nation. It laid the groundwork for the 13th Amendment, which would abolish slavery permanently. This monumental decree marked a turning point in the fight against slavery. Coming in at number 2 is the 13th Amendment. This momentous piece of legislation is a cornerstone of American history. Ratified on December 6, 1865, the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime. It was the final, resounding declaration that the dehumanizing practice of slavery had no place in a country built on the ideals of freedom and equality. The 13th Amendment was not just a legal document, it was a symbol of hope, an assertion of human dignity, and a testament to the tireless efforts of countless abolitionists who had dedicated their lives to this cause. The ratification of the 13th Amendment marked the end of a long, hard-fought battle, but it also represented the beginning of another struggle, the fight for true equality, a battle that continues to this day. The 13th Amendment was the legal victory the abolitionists had fought so hard for. At number 1, we have the enduring legacy of abolitionism. This movement, fueled by individuals with an unshakable belief in human equality, forever changed the course of history. Its footprint is evident in the strides made for civil rights, women's suffrage, and global human rights, movements that continued the fight for equality and justice. The abolitionists' relentless activism and moral courage laid the groundwork for future generations to challenge societal norms, to question the status quo, and to fight for justice. They provided a blueprint for peaceful resistance and civil disobedience, inspiring figures such as Martin Luther King Jr. and Gandhi. Their legacy also lives on in the spirit of the American nation itself, in the belief that all men and women are created equal. Their struggle, their perseverance, and their triumph have become a part of the American narrative, a testament to the power of ordinary individuals effecting extraordinary change. The abolitionist movement forever transformed the nation, leaving a legacy of freedom and equality.